Okay, so every now and again I get asked this question either on YouTube or Instagram. Why don't I buy Australian games, local Australian games? There's a good reason why I don't buy Australian games. Just take a look at this. I really have a hate of the classification labeling here in Australia. I don't understand why these things need to be so big. In this particular box set, it doesn't look as bad on this, but other games it really does. I guess the only country that has even worse classification labeling is Germany. I mean, they got to put up with something this size, so I feel sorry for them, and I feel sorry that I got this one because I was hoping it was going to be the UK classification labeling, but this thing is just being covered with UK and the German classification labeling. I just really hate it. When you look at something from Japan, I mean, it's only got a tiny little classification label there, which is really cool. UK, like I said before, the size of that is really cool. By the way, if you're after a copy of this game, the only way to get it is UK. It wasn't released in America. I don't understand why that wasn't. This is Hong Kong. Again, there's nothing on here. It just says official licensed product. I really don't see, maybe that's the classification labeling there. I don't know, but it's so tiny, which is great. And the USA, they have this little classification labeling, which I don't mind. That's really cool. Perfect example of a labeling here in Australia going absolutely crazy is have a look at the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, the UK copy of it. The labels over here. There's, it does say about the download content for, for the 3 games, but it's not too intrusive. Have a look at the Australian classification label of this game. It's absolutely taking up like half of Spyro's face. To me, that is just ridiculous. Come on, guys, it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to do that. I don't know when this, honestly, I don't know when this first came in, the size of the classification labeling here in Australia. I don't know if it was after the Port Arthur massacre all those years ago. I don't know if it was, I think it might have been one of the independent politicians, just going crazy about that sort of stuff. But to me, it just takes away from the artwork. So, to me, there's a lot of time and effort has gone into designing these gaming covers. It is a work of art, and to see it just totally vandalized from the Australian Classification Board is ridiculous. Like I said, you would, if you've seen some of my previous videos, you would have seen me doing pickups videos. I'm very lucky that I can still find UK, USA version of games here at EB Games. Yeah, sure, they've got the classification labeling, but this is on the outside. I can get some adhesive remover or whatever and take these off, which I will do. And it's just, to me, it's I really hate it. I really hate it. I have spoken to some people on Instagram whether they don't mind the size of the classification labeling. They're growing up with it, but for me, I just find it really intrusive of the artwork. It just takes away from that beautiful artwork that we see on a lot of the covers, and especially when you look at games which has got the Australian, the UK, and the German classification labeling on the outside. That's even worse, and it's just ridiculous. It's so unnecessary to have that the size of those classification labeling. And the same with the Blu-rays and the DVDs here in Australia. They're covered with the size of the labeling, and that's why with my Blu-rays, one day I might show my Blu-ray collection as well. I always get mine from UK or America if it's region free. So that's my reason for hating this sort of stuff. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. It's just, I don't know why we have to have it. Like I said, we're pretty lucky with this one. It's down there. It's not taken away from the artwork, but I absolutely hate it still. And I would love to be able to find a Japanese or UK or US copy of this game, so I can just change the to get rid of this classification labeling. And what you see behind me is a collection I've grown over the years, and slowly I've gotten rid of what Australian games I did have, and it wasn't that many, luckily. Maybe a couple on the Nintendo 3DS, but to me it absolutely takes away from what is beautiful artwork, and it's just so cool. And this game would have a sticker that's covering it that much space is just ridiculous. So that's the reason why I don't collect games from my own country. I will go out of my way to get games from the UK or America. I used to get a lot of stuff from Amazon.com, but since they've pretty much banned us from buying games from over there because they don't want to collect the GST tax here in Australia, I rely heavily on Oz Game Shop now, more so. Before I used to get games from Play Asia, but I just find their shipping to be way too expensive. So Oz Game Shop is my go-to place to get games, and eBay as well, and op shops or EB Games, and when I can find stuff on the cheap. So I hope that at least explains why I don't collect Australian games. I just hate it. I just hate the classification labeling here, and it does come down to politicians just being dickheads pretty much. So hey guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. We can talk about this as well. What are your feelings on this? Just look at the Spyro cover. It's just ridiculous. It's unbelievable. So hey guys, see you later. Thanks for watching.